you do-it-yourself design secrets specialists. By now, you're very well known in the Canva and the design basics part. You've made a mock-up, and now we are going to dive into the third part. The third part being the ebook, how to produce an ebook, but this also goes for an online course. So this presentation is being presented, this presentation was created using a Canva presentation template, and that is shown as a scrolling website. Let's dive into how to produce an ebook, because there's more than meets the eye. First of all, you're going to need to know what is HTML5 and what can you use an ebook for. But the secret bonus I'm actually adding on to this module, this part 3, is the 8-step framework that Dave Espino teaches on how to create a course. And it basically also applies to preparing an ebook, because the software I'm going to show you how to design and upload, create your own ebook is the last part. The most important part is to structure it in a way that you answer all the questions that your audience has about the topic that your book or course is going to be about. And once we've done the preparation part, so the 8-step framework, I'll show you how to design 2 types of books. One is more like the traditional book, that it can be 100 pages and up, which is more text, and how to design a magazine or more of a brochure style ebook that could be, that most likely is less than 100 pages. And finally, I will share with you what this whole software costs and how you can start using it. So let's dive into what HTML5 is. You see in the example here, the flipping book, which is an online version of a PDF. And it flips like a book. When you hear the sound, it sounds like a book. You also see the hardcover and the dents in it. So it really looks and feels like a book. But there's some specific things you need to know to design this. So first of all, let's see what you can use it for. What is an ebook for? There's 2 main reasons, 2 main options that I can tell you. One is list building. Now, some of the most successful internet marketers say the money is in the list. If you're starting an internet business and you want to know the numbers, generally there's a benchmark of making approximately €1 or dollar or pound, whatever, per month per member of your email list. So if you have 100 members, 100 adherents on your email list, you would make $100 per month. If that is 1,000, the same, or 10,000 on your list, you would make approximately $10,000 or euros per month. So this is why you're nurturing that email list and trying to grow your audience is of such an importance. So this ebook, for example, could be something that you give away for free, like a lead magnet, where in exchange for their email address, people will download your book, right? So it's kind of like an ethical bribe to ask people to adhere to your email list. And it also filters the people that are really interested in you and what you do, rather than just shooting hail to anyone and selling anything to anyone. So at first, this book, in my case, I created a traditional ebook, which is more of a theoretical basis of of the practical stuff that I sell. So not only is it like a freebie or a way to get people to sign up for my list, it also provides all the theoretical information that I want people to have, that I would give them for free anyway, um, just to be able to use my product. So I don't need to put all this information, this theoretical stuff, into the practical stuff again. So the next page would be, if you sign up for this ebook, you get the offer of getting the recipe plan. Another option for creating the ebook is to actually deliver an information product. So this second internet page that you would land on after downloading or subscribing to my list is the 21-day prana metabolic makeover. And also I designed this whole book into a 100-page ebook that I uploaded to this software, and I just need to send the link to people after they purchase. So it's kind of a neat way to deliver something that I don't have to ship, I don't have to transport, I don't have to pay any more costs for printing. And on top of that, this tool also offers to look at it online. So people can either download it if they want to, they can open it online, they can download it and to their device to have that file secure. But what you can do is if you have like a second version and renewed version, you can upload a new file. And if they access that online, so through the link, they have the new file immediately delivered. So there's no need to send new emails or make a second edition, print a second edition, right? So the most recent copy is always online. So this is an amazing way to get your always up-to-date link through email. Now, knowing this, what it's good for, let's dive into the 8-step preparation framework by Dave Espino, who is a master course creator. By the way, he's created over 80 courses, online courses, and done sometimes 7 in a week. He's really amazing. So I'm loving to share this with you. It's an honor to have learned it from him. And let's dive into the first part. So the step 1 is to define a working title for your course or ebook. In my case, it was this do-it-yourself design secrets course, which you see the dramatic declaration consists of 2 parts. One is the biggest goal of your audience, and the other is the biggest obstacle. Now, the Do-It-Yourself Design Secrets Mastermind wasn't the working title. The working title was actually how to create amazing designs without spending a fortune on graphic design experts. Right? So there's the two elements of that dramatic declaration. Now you don't need to do that in that way, but it does put you into a certain mindset of what your goal is, what you're getting your people to try to achieve, and the obstacle that you're trying to have them overcome, help them overcome. Okay, so that is step 1. After you've done that, you're going to go to step 2 to brain dump all the possible questions that you think your audience would have, and then complete them with the questions that they should have. If possible, you can also ask your audience what they most want to know about the topic. Now, for example, this course, the Do-It-Yourself Design course, I would assume that my audience, you, would have the question of how do I create a Facebook post? How do I make an ad? How do I edit video? How do I choose a font? Or what can I do with where can I find free stock images? Right? All those kinds of questions are what I would expect you to have questions, as in you're looking for answers. Otherwise, you wouldn't do this course, right? Now, me personally, knowing the software, um, I can also complete that whole list with questions that I believe you should have. Like, for example, in the Canva software, how can you duplicate a page? How can you group elements? How can you publish into a presentation? Those are features that you may not have thought of yourself as the audience, but I think of as the expert, right? Having the expertise and the experience with the software. So that's the second part. And then, if possible, um, you could you could ask your audience what they really most want to know about the topic to make it the most relevant. Then, after you've completed that step number two, you go to step number three, which is to number the questions, all those questions for flow. In each and every step or part, I actually start with the basic. And there was this coach, Dave taught about that, about a coach who every year started his soccer team with a football in his hand, explaining this is a football, and short of being taken to the ridiculous, it really goes is in your favor to just start really at the beginning. There may be people who know the start, who know the beginning, but there are going to be people who just don't know the basics. They're going to feel lost if you just start somewhere in the middle. So start from the beginning and then move on and build up from there for flow. All right, if you've done when you've done that, we go to step number four, which is to turn those questions into maybe sexy, benefit driven headlines. So, this, for example, is the 8 step framework to prepare, how to optimally prepare for designing your ebook, right? Um, and things like that. Well, there you can be really creative if you want. Moving on to number five. Step number five is to really answer all of those questions. And this is where you can start a PowerPoint file or a Canva file, or you start just a document, Word document, where you really fully answer all the questions, creating subtopics, maybe. So you could also share the way you learned it. Like I told you, I learned this 8 step framework by from Dave Espino, or how you earned it, or just created this from your own experience. So the part two, in creating the mock-ups, I created my own 5 step and 6 step framework to easily create these, to move from one software to another, and to not miss anything along the way. Okay, after you've answered all the questions, you move on to prettying it up. You could add some images, some statistics, maybe some color and some spacing here. Make the presentation a bit nice, and that could be different in the brochure, or a magazine, or a traditional ebook. Those are completely different. Then, after you've done the prettying up, you go to the step of proofreading or rehearsing the course presentation. Now, proofreading is, you could have someone else proofread your ebook, and just kind of like take out the little mistakes that occur when you're just so close to it, so focused on it, that you don't see the forest through the trees, right? Or you just leave your, if you have no one to proofread your document, then leave it for a day and look at it after 2 days, and you'll look at it from a fresh perspective, and see all kinds of things that you wouldn't have seen on that first time. Then another thing is for a course. So if you're creating a course, you want to rehearse it. You want to do the presentation and really do it out loud, so that you're getting accustomed to it, and you know the transitions. You're being more comfortable, either either online or just with people live or not. You'll discover where the hiccups are and where you may need to reiterate. Then, finally, step 8 is to record your course or to move on to design your book. Now, this is the core part of our of my do-it-yourself design secrets, which is a 6-step framework to design and produce an HTML5 ebook. So here we go. If you haven't heard of it yet, again, I am repeating. Books are judged by their cover. So again, do yourself a favor and invest a few bucks to have your book cover designed professionally. I can't say enough because there are too many people who really try it and then end up disappointed, thinking like, why didn't it work? Well, because books are really judged by their cover. You want it to really work and be attractive so that people either download it or buy it, right? After you've taken care of the cover, which is the most important part, you take care of step number 2, which is you choosing your editing tool. Now, there's two ways to go about this, to approach this. One is using the just a doc file where you just write a Google Doc or a Word document, and you create more a traditional book. Now, this traditional book is probably focused more on the theoretical part of your work. There aren't many pictures. It's really focused on the text, and it can possibly be more than 100 pages. Then really the doc file is the best way to go to produce it. On the other hand, if you're looking for more of a brochure or magazine file or a newsletter thing, then it's more in the practical side. Then the focus is really on those images, on the design and the branding. Then Canva would be the best choice to go. Do note that Canva is limited to 100 pages per file. So if you would go beyond 100 pages, you would have to merge PDF files later on, which isn't dramatic, and I'll show you later on. But just know that the 100 pages is the limit. Moving on to step 3, which are the layout specifics. Now, this is where you are going to want to pay attention to new chapters. So there's the title page, the chapter. You see a blank page on the first page, which is the left side. That's the right side, the left side again, and the right side of the book. The table of content doesn't create itself in the software, so you're going to have to create that on your own. Now, looking deeper at the font. This really is different. You need to take into account that it's going to be small. It's not going to be 100%. So looking first at the font, a serif font is something that has a little glitch at the bottom, a little hook at the bottom of the letters, and they're traditionally used for printed books. Now, if you're doing online, you're going to want to use a sans serif font, which is without those little hooks at the bottom. And that's basically without, sans from without in French. So we're going for the Nexa font. Now, as you see, if you put this to 100%, if this were to be printed, it would be a lot bigger. But the ebook is going to be digital. So you have to be able to read it in this format, which means you need to adapt the font. This is a 16, the font size is 16. You could even make it 18. And if you need to increase the font size, you could also decrease the line height between two lines so you have a bit more space. Let's make that. Let's check 1.2, 0.2. There. You see? I'm going to undo it because it was fine to begin with, just to know that, oh yeah, here's a little trick. You can also select all the text boxes at the same time, change the font size so that they all change, change the line height so they all change the same. Let's change that back. There. So this is a little trick to know that you don't have to do every box on its own. All right. Then moving on to, if you're doing this in a doc file, let me check here. So this is the PDF version of the doc file. And I already merged the whole entire thing. But here you see a bigger table of content. So this is a different book. This is a bigger book, which is the traditional, more text form. And what I want to show you is links. So if you incorporate links into your text, it will show on the HTML5 document, and they will be able to click from the ebook, which is amazing. There's also an option to create headers and footers, like, for example, this, where I created a footnote, and it automatically generates a footnote with this link. So those are amazing features that will also come into play in your online file. Now, there's also some page numbers. Page numbers aren't generated automatically into the flipping book software, so you're going to have to make them yourself. And in Canva, the even pages are at the left side. So what I personally do is create the page on the left side and then copy. I do it on one page, the page number, and then copy it on the even pages. So the even pages are the left side, and the uneven pages are on the right side. Those are the most important specs on a layout. When you have finished all your layout, you need to make sure that you have the blank pages, and the blank pages, like the first left page, and one page right before each new chapter, so that every new chapter starts in the right. When you've done all that, you're going to proofread it again, look through it, and then download it. Now, you can download it in two ways. You're going to need one PDF file, whichever tool you're using, whether you're using the Word doc or the Canva. The Word, you're going to have to print it to be a PDF file, or save it as a PDF file. And with Canva, it's a lot easier. It just downloads. You can just download it as a small PDF. Now, if you have a bigger file size, so either in Canva more than 100 pages, you're going to have two files, or in a doc file, you're going to have the, the cover page, the content, and the back page. So let's dive into Canva. It's easy to just download the whole file at once as a small PDF, which is the standard PDF, and then download it all at once. You're going to download it to whichever place you want on your computer. So that's an easy form. But if you have the doc file and you open the PDF, you're going to open one PDF first, for example, the cover page. And then you're going to edit and insert a page from a file. And then you can choose the next file, which is going to be your the content itself. And you do the same thing with the back cover. There, so then once you've created that PDF, we're gonna upload it to Flipping Book. Now you see here, I already have the Prana Rebel metabolic smoothies in there, but there's an easy function to replace the PDF. I'm going to show you that, how you can easily just replace that PDF, select from a file. So I created, that's the back cover, that is the book cover, and there's the entire file. So if you create that You click that, open it, and then it starts uploading and converting. Now it takes a while, so I didn't. I'm going to leave that for you to see later on. And then we go to step 6, which is to customize. Now there are a couple of really awesome tricks here where you can customize. Once it's uploaded and converted, you can customize the background. First of all, you're going to name. There's not going to be a name yet. So you are going to name your flip book, give it a title, maybe a description, as those will be seen at the left corner. And the description is going to be available for viewers. The skin is the background of your book. So here you see it gray. You can choose whichever you want. If you upgrade, that's part of the higher versions. Then there's options to control. You can control if you can share it, print it, download it. If your readers can select, make notes, if the sound is on or off, like the flipping sound, if they can option to full screen, zoom, search, and look at the default navigation. So those are the controls. Then we go to settings. This is amazing. You can either slide your book or flip your book, and sliding is just sliding back and forth. You slide through it. What I really like is the flip version, when you go to the first page and you flip through the book, and the pages really flip, and when you have the sound on, it looks really amazing. The shadow is on the inside. You can choose either a normal shadow or a light shadow or none shadow or deep shadow, whichever you prefer. I prefer the light shadow. Then if you go to the cover and check non-hardcover, uncheck the hardcover, you see the indent, right? There's also an option of making a book thick. When you put the thickness in, you see the pages, the page stack at the right side, right? The link highlighting highlights the links in the book, obviously, and then there's other options. That is a save. Now your book is basically ready. So your flipping book is now ready and online, ready to view. How you are going to share it is by copying the link, copying that link above, or just visit click the link there. And it's now available to view online. Now, as I said, your clients can either, or whoever you send this to, they can either view it online, which it has the bonus that they are always looking at the newest version, the most recent version, or when they're looking at it online and you have checked that box, they can download it, right? So this is an amazing tool for saving paper, saving costs, and getting amazing information to your clients. But what does it cost? It comes with a price. The software called Flipping Book, it starts with a 14-day free trial. So my advice would be to have everything done from those 8 steps first, have your PDF totally ready in the bigger size font, and then start your membership or the 14-day trial, because the membership later on, after that, it starts at 49 euros per month. Or if you pay per year, it's approximately 37 euros per month. And that's the basic version, the starter version, where you have about 10, you can upload to 10 flipping books. And it's really the basic starter version. When you go for optimal or advanced, you get the branding options. You can insert even videos. You can make a lead capture form just from the book itself, so you don't have to create another a separate landing page. But it is you need to decide whether it's worth it, yes or no. That is the end of part 3 already. So you can go and create your own ebook. I am excited to go on to part 4 to learn how to edit videos, because that's coming up next. Learn how to easily edit your beautiful teasers, ads, info videos, and sales videos to share that gift with the world. So I'm excited to share that with you in our next part. And of course, finally, the compelling ads, the 3-part framework to create posts and ads that attract your dream client, and how to make them want to give you money. I hope this was valuable information. You learned a lot about creating and designing an ebook and structuring a course. And I look forward to seeing you for part 4. Tune in next time. Bye-bye.